Hello again, my unconventional conventionalists. Trying to keep my voice down a little bit because I'm recording this at like 1 a.m. and I have roommates on both of these walls. But it's time for another Bad Girls Rant. And this is yet another instance where I have a rant that I was not planning to make, and I should not be making it, but I am. And this time it is a very serious issue. Perhaps you've heard about the recent hate crimes happening in New Orleans, Louisiana regarding transgender women. Within less than 48 hours of each other, there has been 2 murders of trans women in the city of New Orleans. The first was China Doll Dupree, and that happened Saturday night. And the second happened hardly 7 or 8 hours ago from me recording this video, and that was Ciara McEvelyn. Both were transgender women of color, never did any bad to anyone. Matter of fact, Ciara regularly volunteered, and both of them were murdered out of cold blood as a result of hate crimes. China Doll Dupree was shot in a shopping parking lot 10 times. That is definitely a hate crime, no doubt about it. Alright? Thieves do not shoot 10 times, hate crimes shoot 10 times. And Ciara McEvelyn was stabbed to death, and location is yet to be disclosed to the public, but it's fucking tragic. Why is this happening? The police are immediately dismissing them as not being connected and that they are not hate crimes. Of course they're hate crimes, but the police just don't give a flying fuck because history is repeating itself. Alright, I'm gonna go there. In the 1960s, African Americans were not treated as human beings. There were countless of hate crimes performed upon African Americans during those decades, and the police didn't give a fuck because nobody even considered African Americans to be people. Now we're well past the turn of the century, and it's happening again with transgender and transsexual people. And I've also noticed it's more specifically trans women. I'm not saying trans men are completely omitted from this. You know, trans men definitely deal with a lot of shit, and they're definitely at risk for hate crimes too, but both of these instances, it was a trans woman, and they're not the only ones. In the city of New Orleans alone, in the past 3 years, there has been a total of 4 trans women killed as a result of a hate crime. The other 2 being Penny Proud, who was shot to death in February 2015, and Goddess Diamond, who was murdered on June 2016. And here's what's the most troubling thing, because, yeah, February 2015, June 2016, February 2017. That's a large gap. But these 2 most recent ones, China Doll and Ciara, they happened within 48 hours of each other. And another really important thing that needs to be considered that many people are overlooking, this is the second murder, but there was a failed attempt in early February. There has been videos circulating of a group of guys harassing a trans woman and smacking her upside the head with the handle of a handgun. Now, to my understanding, this trans woman managed to escape the situation, and she is still alive today. The men in that video must be considered as prime suspects for these recent 2 murders. It makes sense. It makes sense for it to be that way. But the police don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. Let me share something with you guys, okay? So I've specified numerous times before that I carry concealed weapons for self-defense, because I feel like as a trans woman in a city like New Orleans, I need to. Usually I have them in a zipper on my purse, and that zipper is easy to get to, fast and quick. But tonight, after getting word of Ciara's murder during my break at work, I had to walk from my place of work to my parked car about 10 blocks. And it was about midnight that I had to do this. And I didn't feel safe enough just keeping it in the zippered pouch, so I actually carried it like this. From my place of work all the way to my car, I had it gripped in my hand with my finger on the trigger. Why? Why do I feel so unsafe as a trans woman in the city of New Orleans that I must grip my pepper spray in order to walk from my work to my car? Why? It should not be that way. It should not be that way, but it is. Am I scared? Yes, of course. But I'm not going to change who I am. Alright, I'm not going to allow fear to stop me from being myself, to undo all the things that I've worked very hard for years. I am a woman, alright? I know that there are terrible people on this planet who do not respect me as such, but I am. I'm a fucking woman, and nothing is going to change that. And I'm going to continue living my life as a beautiful and sexy woman every single fucking day. And the 100-something other trans women that still remain in the city of New Orleans and cities surrounding it should do so as well. Because what these guys are trying to do is strike fear into the trans community to the point where we don't want to be trans anymore. But it don't work that way, okay? It don't work that way. We're not going to change who we are. We're going to be fucking brave. And we are going to continue living our lives and fighting for equality. The war rages on. You hear me, trans ladies? The war rages on. We will not bow down. We will not give up. We will not submit. We are who we fucking are. Don't you forget it. For any transphobes that happen to grab a hold of this video, I got something to say to you too. Alright, I got a lot to say to you. And here goes. What makes a man or a woman, or even what gender is, are all up to our understanding. As our understanding shifts, the symbolism shifts with it. So when you say a trans woman is still a man, what you're saying is, I reject this person's understanding of themselves and who they are, and insist people see them the way that I do. Furthermore, when you do it with the knowledge, which is broadly available, that these people have wildly disproportionate rates of depression and suicide, and that being accepted for who they are on the inside drastically lowers those statistics, your assertion becomes your happiness and even your life are less important than my view of what labels you should live under. Honestly, I can imagine few things more selfishly destructive than that. You absolutely can shift your definition of what the words man and woman mean to you. And no, it could very realistically help all of us live together more peacefully and possibly save lives. Yet you cling stubbornly to something with little to no meaning in your life that could destroy someone else's. Why? Why? Stop the fucking hate. My deepest condolences go out to the families and friends of China Doll Dupree and Ciara McEveline. And, you know, I'm not just going to limit that to the recent ones. My condolences also go out to Goddess Diamond's friends and family and Penny Proud's friends and family. Because this should never happen, alright? We are well into the 21st century. Wake the fuck up, people. Take care. I love you.